These are the Daily Tech headlines for Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. I'm Tom Merritt. Tuesday, the U.S. Department of Justice filed a range of options to a court of what it is considering recommending to the judge for a remedy to Google's monopolistic behavior. They range from a simple consent decree to monitor Google's behavior to ordering Google to sell off Chrome, Android, or Google Play. You're going to see that in the headlines. Other possible remedies considered include prohibiting exclusive search deals, like the ones Google has with Samsung and Apple, the ability for websites to opt out of Google's AI products, restrictions against investing in search rivals, an educational awareness campaign about search choice. The Department of Justice has until November 20th to decide the specific fix it prefers. So these are just its range of options. It has not even made its final recommendation. A 2-week remedies hearing will take place next April for Google and the Department of Justice to present their different ideas to the judge. And then the judge will decide on the remedies, which could be none of their suggestions, by August of next year. And then Google will appeal whatever the judge says, so none of this will happen soon, if at all. University of Washington biochemist and computational biologist David Baker, DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis, and senior DeepMind research scientist John Jumper have been awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their work on discovering new protein configurations. Hassabis and Jumper created the open-source AlphaFold 2 AI model that helped predict the structure of almost all 200 million proteins that scientists had identified. Baker created a computational protein design for a protein no one had ever seen before in 2003, and he kept doing it. He has since developed several new proteins used in vaccines, sensors, and more. HBO released a documentary called Money Electric: The Bitcoin Mystery, which is the latest journalistic effort to identify who created Bitcoin. The documentary uses circumstantial evidence to suggest that Canadian software developer Peter Todd was Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonym of the creator of Bitcoin. Todd is an applied cryptography consultant based in Toronto and denies the claim. Brazilian Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes ordered regulators to take steps to allow Brazilians to get access to X.com again after a 5-week blockage. The order came after X agreed to take down some user accounts, pay fines, and appoint a legal representative in Brazil. By the way, those are all the things they were ordered to do at first that they said they weren't going to do. They decided to do them, and now the block has been lifted. A representative that was appointed by X was the same representative who resigned 5 weeks ago as X's legal representative. Chipmaker MediaTek has announced its new flagship mobile chipset, the Dimensity 9400. It's built on a 3-nanometer process, claims to be 40% more power efficient, includes the ARM-designed Immortalis G925 GPU, which is 40% faster at ray tracing than the previous Dimensity 9300, and the chipset also contains a neural processing unit that all chipsets have these days. The NPU in this one is 80% faster at on-device language model processing, and developer support is included for creating AI agents that can operate locally and do things for you on the device. It also supports scaling content for tri-fold screens, not just bifold screens. The chip will start showing up in devices in Q4, mostly from Chinese manufacturers. The All England Club announced Wednesday that it will use live electronic line calling to make out and fault calls at the Wimbledon Tennis Championship starting next year. The club tested the system during its 2024 tournament, but still employed human line judges. The system has been in place in other tennis tournaments, and the All England Club considers it sufficiently robust. The governments of Turkey and Russia have ordered internet providers to block access to Discord in their respective countries. Russia's Roskomnadzor said the block was due to violations of legislation meant to prevent, quote, the use of the messenger for terrorist and extreme purposes, the recruitment of citizens for their commission of the sale of drugs in connection with the placement of illegal information. Supposedly, Discord has not entered into conversation with Russian authorities about the accusations. In Turkey, Discord was reportedly blocked following a case involving child abuse and obscenity content allegedly hosted on the platform. Finally, NASA has selected New Zealand's Rocket Lab to complete a study for retrieving rock samples from Mars and then bringing them back to Earth. Now, this is a study to see if the plan can work, but Rocket Lab has a faster timeline than other proposals out there. They say they can do a launch by 2028 and return the samples by September 2033. For more discussion of the tech news of the day, subscribe to dailytechnewsshow.com. You can find show notes and links to all the headlines there as well. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.